And at Rangitoto College in New Zealand, 10 students recently back from Mexico are, quote, likely to have the illness.
Going back to the top story of the day right around the world at the moment, that is the virus, the swine flu scare. In New Zealand, as we've been reporting, there have been problems there with 10 students who just returned from Mexico being isolated in their homes. And the health department there just held a news conference. Sky News reporter Sarah Batley was there and she joins us on the line from Auckland. Sarah, what was said at the conference a short time ago?
Well, I've just been at a press conference called by the Health Minister and the Ministry of Public Health. They're going to be running a series of these press conferences. There was one held last night, and we're expecting updates throughout the day. They're obviously taking this very seriously, as there's a real chance the students who have tested positive for influenza A have swine flu.
And we're bringing you extensive coverage of this developing story. It's 10 p.m. in Auckland, New Zealand, 5 a.m. in Mexico City. Hello, everyone. I'm Asiye Namdar, and you're watching World News. The swine flu virus is on the move. Scientists are scrambling to determine the origin of the outbreak in humans. More and more countries are taking measures to keep it out. What we do know is that officials say more than 80 people in Mexico who died from severe pneumonia died because of that virus. The medical mystery is puzzling health officials because otherwise healthy people between the ages of 25 and 45 are becoming infected. Now, members of a student group from New Zealand, freshly back from Mexico, are quarantined in Auckland, and some are feared to have the flu. To get a better grasp of the situation in New Zealand, I spoke with Dr. Craig Thornley, the medical officer of health in Auckland.
It certainly has not been confirmed that they have swine flu.
And what kind of tests would they have to go through, and how long would it take to confirm that?
We already have provisional information that they have, that some of this group have influenza A. That's known. What we don't know is whether it's the type of influenza A that's called swine flu. We won't know that for, I understand, a few days.
And some of these people were described as more unwell than others. Can you explain to us what that means?
Right. Okay. I might need to familiarise myself with that myself, but I understand, yes, that some have, that at least one person needed to be assessed in hospital.
Well, if there's anything you want to borrow, then...
I won't be getting any more either, because they sacked me. And the books are ones I found at the hospital.
Well, that's a nasty place to work anyway.
Yeah.
And now let's go to New Zealand, where officials believe 10 students who were in Mexico recently may also have the swine flu virus. Chrissy Murrow joins us now from Auckland. And Chrissy, these students, I understand that they tested positive for influenza A, but is that necessarily swine flu?
Well, yes, they have tested positive for influenza A, and we're not sure about swine flu. Swabs are currently on their way to Australia, where they determine whether or not it is actually that strain.
Can you also tell us the number of students who are on their way to Australia to be tested for that, and also the number of people who shared that same flight with them? I believe it was flight NZ1 from LA to Auckland.
Well, it was a full flight from Mexico, from LA rather, to Auckland, but 13 of the children were on the flight. 10 have tested positive. Now, all of those students have been isolated in their homes. Health services are working very closely with the families, and all of the students have been given the Tamiflu vaccination.
Okay, but any idea about the other people who shared the flight with them and if they have been quarantined as well?
All of the other people who are on that flight are being warned that if they are experiencing flu-like symptoms, to contact their doctor immediately. Everybody on the flight was issued a health warning with ways that they could treat it if they were concerned that maybe they were infected.
Okay, and at what point did they start showing signs of flu? Did the students start showing the signs mid-flight or after they had already arrived back in New Zealand?
We believe they started showing signs of the flu while they were on the flight, and we had doctors at the airport there as they were coming in, testing them to make sure that they were indeed okay.
Okay, Chrissy Morrow joining us live from New Zealand there. Thank you very much for that. Now, around the world, government health officials are scrambling to keep the swine flu, out of their country. Now, CNN is on top of this fast-moving story. We are live in Mexico City, where the swine flu outbreak was first detected. Reporting there, we have Carl Penhall, Ted Rowlands, and Dr. Sanjay Gupta. Diana Magne will be in Basel, Switzerland, where pharmaceutical firm Roche is based. Roche is the maker of Tamiflu, which has proven effective in treating swine flu. Now, Sasha Harriman is in London, monitoring steps that European countries are taking to protect against swine flu. In Madrid, Al Goodman is following reports of suspected cases. Phil Black, he will be in Auckland, New Zealand, where possible cases of swine flu have been reported. And John Vaz joins us from Beijing on how Asian countries are reacting to the outbreak. And CNN is also all across the United States as the U.S. government declares a public health emergency.